Alright, so let's get comfy and talk about wage slavery today. We gotta love it, gotta love it, gotta love the wage slavery, gotta love how they treat us. Every day these companies teach me more and more that they don't care about you, they don't care about what you're going through. You feel me? And at the end of the day, they want to make it seem like you're a person or whatever. You feel me? But you're really just a number in a cog wheel that's, pushing the business. They're focused on increasing profits, decreasing cost of certain stuff. And even when you play a part in decreasing the cost or you play a part in like making functions and systems better within the company, that doesn't directly impact your paycheck. It just helps the company. So it's like, why do I care about making things more efficient, decreasing cost, you feel me? Other than making things efficient to make my life easier, you feel me? Why do I care about that when it's not directly impacting my paycheck? Or at least it doesn't seem like it. You feel me? Like I would have still got the same raise had I sat here and did the bare minimum. You feel me? But this video today that I got in front of y'all is, I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but I haven't watched it yet. To mind you, I just thought it would benefit the conversation that I already wanted to have. You feel me? But let's get into it. You are not your job. Wage slavery rant. You feel me? Let's get into it. But you should
You
know
are
that. You
not
should
the
know you're not your
contents
job.
of your wallet. You are not how much money you have in the bank. You are not the car you drive. You are not your job. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate, so we can buy shit we don't need to impress people we don't even like. This is your life, and it's ending one
Love
minute
impressing
at a
people I
time.
don't even like. Ooh, just love it. That's, feel me? It's just so nice to impress people who could give two fucks about me. You feel me? Like, yeah.
On December 10th, 1999, Fight Club was released in movie theaters around the world, and this movie was directed
Did
by
I?
David Fincher,
I'm trying to
starring
remember
Brad
if I ever
Pitt and
watched
Edward
Fight Club.
Norton. The reception was good.
Maybe I need to watch that.
Most people saw it as a dark satire of corporate white-collar culture, but for me, it changed my life forever. Fight Club is not just a satire, it's a wake-up call. But the world has forgotten about it. Tell you what, we're gonna get back to this topic. First, I have a confession to make. I want to apologize to my subscribers. In a previous video, I mentioned that the pyramids were built by slaves. And people in the comments section have pointed out that I'm wrong about that. They have explained it to me that the scientific consensus is that the pyramids were in fact built by paid workers. And so today I want to apologize to my subscribers for that. Yes, I apologize for these people and their incorrect comments. Just to set the record straight, as far as I'm concerned, the pyramids were built by slaves. Now, if you know and understand my content, you will
He's like,
know why I will still argue that. Okay,
because
so
even
in today's video,
the way he's saying it, even if they were paid, um, they weren't paid properly. You feel me? And just, feel me? Even if you're being paid, you're still a slave in a sense because you're working for the money. You feel me? Like you're a slave to the money. You're not a slave to the person necessarily. Like even now, you work at your job. You might consider yourself not a slave, but you're a slave to that paycheck. Because if you don't get that paycheck, you can't pay your bills or you can't do what you want to do for real without that paycheck. So in a sense, you're a slave. You feel me? But
we're diving deeper into the topic of wage slavery, in particular, that thing we call JOB. Often people defend wage slavery in the comment section. They sort of feel insulted by my
I'm gonna
videos on
talk
wage
more on my
slavery. They
experience in a
find the
little
idea
bit.
absurd that we should all stop working. But I never claimed that. I'm just saying that some of us are tired of wasting our lives at soul-crushing jobs. If you want to spend the better part of your life making other people richer, that's fine. In fact, I believe that most people would rather do just that. But the saddest part is that most people I meet in workplaces, they actually hate their jobs and
See,
they sort of accept it. If I ask them,
the thing is, I like my job. My job isn't crazy difficult. I mean, right now there's a lot of responsibilities on my lap personally. But um, the way I'm feeling now, especially with my last raise, hopefully, they don't they don't find this video. Don't send this video to my employer, first of all. But what I'm trying to say is that if you feel me, the raise I got, I thought I was gonna get more. First of all, let's just talk about that. But I swear when we had our meeting, right, we talked about it beforehand, and I swear he told me that there was, and even though this is a private company, they do take into consideration inflation. You hear me? But what I think he meant was that they take it into consideration in terms of like the merit. So there's a merit increase that you get. And so when I saw the paper and all I saw was merit, I was like, where's the inflation part that we was talking about? Um, and so basically when I asked him about it, he was like, cost, oh, it's a private company. Most private companies don't take into consideration cost of living. So I'm like, that completely contradicts what we talked about before. Either that or I misunderstood you. But I was like, okay, I guess. So that's what made me like, yeah. I mean, he did warn me that it was lower this year than previous years, but still, it's like I was expecting a lot more. And this merit increase, what really did it for me is like he told me 2.5, it was 2%. 2% raise is like that's nothing. That's inflation is gonna eat that up. He even said himself that the company set inflation at 2.5%. Meanwhile, if you look up inflation right now, it's 3%. Meaning my 2% raise is getting completely eaten up by inflation, which means it's like I basically didn't get a raise in the first place. In fact, I lost money by 1% if we take into fact actual inflation. Like I actually lost money this upcoming year, regardless of if they, maybe inflation will go down, but more than likely it's not going under 2%. So regardless, I didn't. It's not like I made any money, extra money. You feel me? But I guess that's when you gotta take into consideration my bonus and the fact that I get stock options. But I don't care about that. You need to raise my paycheck too. What I thought was gonna happen, you feel me, was I thought there was gonna be a 2.5 merit increase and then a 2.5 inflation. But you feel me? So I got finessed, you feel me? And this is where I come into, my realization of the fact, like I already noticed, but it further enhances the point that like these companies are not your friend. They really don't care like what you're going through, or you feel me? They don't care what you thought it was going to be. Um they just give you whatever and you got to be satisfied with it somewhat. I mean, of course you could negotiate or try and talk, but more than likely once they set on their number, they're not really negotiating with you. Um and so you got to finesse the company and you gotta finesse everything else. You feel me? Shout out to them people who are able to, like, cause some people, first of all, some people don't have enough time or their first job is already too demanding. But shout out to those people who are able to work one, two, three, four remote jobs at once. Like that's actually insane. But at the end of the day, you're sticking it to the company. You're getting paid way more. Shit, if they give you a raise of 2%, it's like I really don't care because I'm already getting like three other paychecks. So like I already got my raise myself. You feel me? Like you didn't want to give me a raise, so I'll go find it elsewhere. And that's where I feel like people gotta start, you feel me, giving it to these companies. Cause for real, like they really could give two shits about you. And that raise more than likely is not what you would want. You feel me? It's not. And then to get that real raise, you gotta go into like management positions or like, you feel me? And it's like, how are we getting there? Or like, you feel me? You could have all these interviews, but like your experience not matching up with that management position, or you could have all these interviews and they just don't like how you talk, or you feel me, certain stuff. So it's like that job hunting thing is stressful, especially for like higher positions, management positions, because they'll do 4 rounds of interviews and still not hire you. Or or you'll go for honestly, me, even like I had an experience where I interviewed for this, like a position that I didn't even think was that special or important, and they gave me 4 rounds of interviews just to tell me that, oh, they're searching for someone else outside of the US. Like, what kind of nonsense is that? You give me 4 interviews, an interview with the director, an interview with the operations manager, who didn't even know what the damn description of the job was. Like, he basically told me himself that that I asked him like what's the roles of the position. He was like, oh, I honestly couldn't really give you like a detailed overview of the position, but it might be, doing this and doing. I'm like, then like, why are you even interviewing me if you don't even know like the roles of the position that you're interviewing me for? Like, that makes no sense. So honestly, I'm not going to name the company that did that, although I do want to drop the name, but like, because they're kind of a big company, but like, and first of all, he even told me that he was a relative, so he was biased towards the company. Because I asked him what he liked about the company, and he told me he's a relative to the owner. I looked up his LinkedIn. He was working there before he even finished college. What kind of nepotism nonsense is that? First of all, but for me, yeah, yeah. But these companies don't care about you. These people don't care about you. They just wanna they just want to minimize red flags, and they also want to make sure that you're gonna stay there a long time. So I think what they really looking for, which is why you need to lie your ass off to them, is they're looking to see, first of all, if you can do the job. Second of all, they want to see if they like how you talk. They want to see if you can talk business. They want to also see if they just like you as a person in general, so that they could work well with you. And they want to see if you're gonna stay there a long time. They want to know that if we hire you, you're not just gonna leave the next day. So you need to lie your ass off to them and tell them, I'm here to stay. I love working. I'm efficient. I can do the jobs. Explain how you could do the jobs. Give them descriptions of how you, step by step examples of how you can do the job, why you're good at your job, why your last employer loved you. Feel me? Lie your ass off, because they don't give two fucks. They just want to make sure you could do the job and you're gonna stay there forever. You feel me? That's what servitude. That's what slavery is. They want slaves. They want someone who's gonna stay there forever. You feel me? But they want to give you the idea that there's exponential growth and all of this nonsense. They don't want you to grow for real, for real. They want you to stay in that position forever. Or like, if you do grow, you go into like a little step up, maybe a couple steps up, but it's going to take you a while to get those steps up. I promise you that. It's going to take a good 3 4 years before you even get a title change, probably. But
About it, they're like, it's just life. What can you do? And so my content, it's really just for people who are like me, people who don't identify with their jobs. We simply realize that there is more
I don't. The job is nice. I love the remote aspect, but it's like, you feel me? Who gives a fuck? Run me my paycheck. You feel me?